Einen wunderschönen guten Abend hier am Dienstagabend. Good evening and hello to our international viewers. And we are back for race number 2 by the Apex Online Racing guys here for the the Crossplay GT3 Championship on consoles. And like we see, we have the Apex guys together this day or today. So here Jans joined the season after we missed him last week. But again, we have only a few, it's I think 10 Platinum drivers. So, and then we have 13 silver drivers. So let's see what happens today here at the Circuit of the Americas. I think it's the only time this season that we are in America. Next week we are in Germany, in the Eifel, for the Nordschleife race. So let's see what happens. Oh, and we have a new driver. I think it's a new driver. Tyler Vermaak. And he's currently P2 right behind Jared. Then we can take a look at the standings, and we have Jared in the lead, followed by Guido Christ and Gabriela Wugger after the first race. So he won 2 and 3 from the first race. Let's see if I can tell you something about Taylor. Oh, it's Tyler. Oh no, it's not Taylor, it's Tyler, sorry for this. And today we have 2 South African drivers in the lead. At least here at the training session, because Tyler also comes from South Africa, so I think we have 3 South African drivers today. We have Atti, Tyler and Jared. No, we have 4. Maybe 4? Don't know. Robert here. Is Robert here? Oh, I think we don't see Robert Rawolinski. So only 2, I believe. Jared. Tyler. Yeah. So, and then we have Eric Stander, followed by Homoki, then only on P5, 1.2 seconds behind his teammate. We have Martin, Jans, and then we have Guido Christ, Paul Wittler, and Gabriela Wugger, followed by Chris Egert Olympianen. Then we have new driver, I think, Castle, Joshua Castle, English driver, the BMW M4, the only M4 in the Platinum group. No, not the only, sorry for this, because Eric was the other, or is the other one. Let's take a look for the silver grid. We have Bremen. But I don't know who leads the silver grid. And why is Latchko back in the silver grid. I just thought he was part of the platinum grid, but I'm wrong, I think. And then we have Godwin, Mazur. Oh, and Balo have a qualifying ban, so at least one driver isn't allowed to take part in the qualification, but I think, yeah, he's here today. It's the number 98. And what is this? I can't... Where is the streaming mode of Discord? What is this? Ah, here it is. Everything new here. Discord. A little bit confusing. So, and Dennis van Eyck, I believe I drove with us last year, but only a few races. I think it's going about Vermark. Yeah, I think it's a name I... Okay, and yeah, but I also thought I already knew this name. Vermark isn't really a new name for me, so I'm a little bit confused too. So I just thought maybe I already know his name, but maybe like you said, it's someone else. But at least it's a new driver for this season, cause he didn't take part in the first race. So... And let's take a look for Jared. I'm not sure if he is already in his introduction lap or already started his hot lap. His first hot lap, of course. So it's not a hot lap or something like this. The else quali, so we have the whole... Oh, everyone has the whole 15 minutes to set a time. At least everyone without Allo. But I'm a little bit surprised. Also Roland. Oh, okay. Now he's taking part of the quali. And I'm a little bit interested in the time of Eric and of course of Tyler. So, and Jared, the first one who set the time, 2.4 or 2 minutes 4 seconds and a little bit, which makes him 1 second faster than the other green Ferrari. And at the moment we have Popov as the fastest silver driver, but now we have Bremen. Bremen also with a really fast time last week, but then he had a little or some little problems during the race, which costs him a lot of places. And so he's only P14 or 15, I think, in the silver rating. Yeah, P15, right behind his fellow countryman Timo Westerhoff. I'm a little bit confused about Latchko, because I thought he was a silver driver, a platinum driver last week. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. But I can take a look. I think I use my cell phone for this. No, I can't take a look. So, and now we have Jared in the lead, followed by Stander. Then we have Homoki right in front of Paul Wiedler, and then we have Guido Christ, currently P2 in the standings, right behind Jared and right in front of Gabriel, and Gabriel only P9 at the moment here in this qualification. But where is Martin? Martin only P20 without any timing at the moment. And standing in the pits. And here we have the fight between Christ and one of the Mustang drivers. I'm not sure. Is it Goodwin? I think it's something like this. Maybe it's number 93. No, it isn't. Maybe it's the 82. Yeah, it is Dollards. Oh, and now we have Tyler in third place. Mm. So, and I try to figure out in which grid Double started last week. So just give me a second. And like I said, the number 7 was an platinum driver last week, so I'm a little bit confused. So he switched from platinum to silver during the last week. Which is a little bit interesting. Finished P6 right in front of, right behind Charlie Harker, the winner of the first race. So why? Well, where is Harker, for example? So Harker, for example, not even part of the standings at the moment. Or is he? And I can't... Oh, he is. And he's a platinum driver now. So what? What? So... I don't know. I'm a little bit confused, like I said. So let's go now. Silver driver and Harker, who isn't here today, is meanwhile a platinum driver. Oh, and here we have Martin on track. I think there was a little problem for Hyans, maybe. So, and now let's take a look. It's still Jared in the lead. I think it's the same time. Or it's the time from his first lap, 2.4.867. A little bit more than half of a second in front of Eric, and Eric only 0.02 of a second in front of Tyler. Then we have Homoki, the last one, who is less than a second behind Jared, followed by Paul and Guido, and then we have Gabriel. So P2 and 3 in the standings right behind each other, and Martin now with his counted lap, and but only P4 for the teammate of Jared. .12 of a second in front of Homoki. But more than 0.4 of a second behind Tyler and Eric. And Popov, the first silver driver, here on P10, right in front of Bremen. Oh, and Paul with a new personal fastest time, a little bit faster than Hyans and Homoki. Then we have the end of the quali time. Rüngjanen stays on P9. I just realized I raced against Castle. He has come a long way and definitely got quite a bit faster than last time I raced with him. Yeah, but... Oh, here we have Castle. Is it? Just wait. Ah yeah, Castle. Yeah, okay. It's one of the new drivers. Only, let's say not only, it's P14 for the new Platinum driver. So, and Jared a little bit faster in the last lap than in his first lap. Followed by Homoki and Hyojans. Now P3 in front of Stander. So Homoki and Hyojans are overtaking Stander and Vermark. So Stander stays on P4. But now we have Tyler coming into the last corner. And let's see. Oh, and now he's on 4th place. So 6/10 of a second faster. No, 6/100 of a second faster than Stander. Paul P6 in front of Guido. Let's see if Guido is able to get a little bit... No, he's still in the pits. So we have Jared in front of Homoki, then Jared's teammate right behind Jared, P3, Tyler P4, then Stander, Fiedler, Christ, Lavuga and Rüngjanen, and then we have the first silver drivers with Popov, Kendall Slater, Chris Bremen and Richie Goodwin, and then we have Castle, the last Platinum driver, right in front of Lachko, who is a silver driver now. I don't know why. Jeffrey Van Buren P16 in front of Mac Mazur, who is currently P2, I think, in the silver. No, P3, right behind Goodwin in the silver standings. Then Kendall Slater in the standings, but not here. So we have Roland Jordan P18, P19, Jolt Barabas, the GTR driver. Then Westerhof, Dollards, Archibald, Klaassen, Botachuk, and of course the last one, Ballot, cause he wasn't allowed to do the qualification. So, and I need a little commercial break, cause I need to go somewhere. And then we are back with our race here at the Circuit of the Americas. So, hear you soon. So, and I think everyone is back from the little break. At least I am. So, and only 15 seconds till the start of the introduction lap.
10 seconds.
And since we have no driver of the day this season, I think we stay with the last winner, and this was Jared. So one little track guide here by our championship leader and the winner of the qualification here at the Circuit of the Americas. So quite an interesting course. One of the newest tracks here in Assetto Corsa, finished 2012. I think it's also one of the Antique tracks, yeah, like I already think. To be honest, I don't like Antique tracks. And it's in Austin, Texas. So yeehaw! Yeah, but we're with a long straight here. After turn, I don't know. After turn 11, it's a lot of corners, 20 corners, or 20 turns. 5.5 kilometers. But maybe some points for overtaking. For example here, after the long straight. So let's see. So, and here we have the first two cars, two Ferraris, followed by two Mustangs, then the BMW from Stander, then Paul, Guido with the Porsche, Gabriel with the Lamborghini, and Rüngjanen with the Mustang, and then we have Popov with his McLaren. So these are the cars from the top 10, or out of the top 10. Then we have again two Ferraris, one Mustang. So P1, 2 and 3 similar like 11, 12 and 13. At least the cars, not the drivers, of course. And now we are looking forward for the start of the race. And fingers crossed that everything goes well during the first corner.
Green light, give it all you can.
Oh, and Jared goes away. And then we have Homoki, who cuts in front of Tyler. Oh, and I think at least one car with a little problem. Or maybe it's Barczak. Yeah. A little bit behind the number 88. I don't know what happens to him. And then Jared already more than half of a second away from the second Ferrari. Oh, and then Homoki doesn't cut off Tyler. It was Martin. Oh, and then the first big problems here between Stunder and I think Paul, but I'm not sure. Oh, and now we have quite a big gap between the first three drivers, or the first four drivers, and then we have Popov already P5. So quite a good first lap for the silver driver. Stunder is able to stay on P6 at least, and then we have Goodwin, Castle, no, Paul. I think it's Paul in front of Castle. And then we have Rüngjanen and Gabriel lost at least 2 places. But where is the Porsche? Oh, and Guido. Really bad luck for the Porsche driver. Fell back on the last position. Not sure if it's the best decision to watch the replay, but I'm interested to see what happens to number 4. So I think he was part of the little accident. Here we have Guido right behind Paul. Oh, and Guido was the reason of the crash, so much too late on the brakes for turn 11, I think. And then also, oh, what a nice turnaround. And so he's now not okay, now he isn't the last one. Now he's in front of Barczak. I think it's Barczak. So, and meanwhile we have Tyler and Martin on 2nd and 3rd place in front of Homoki, and Stander meanwhile in front of Popov and Goodwin. Oh, and Goodwin also in front of Popov, though the fight between the two silver racers or silver drivers, with a for the moment better ending for Goodwin. And then Fiedler, Rüngjanen. Oh, and Castle lost at least one position against Gabriela Voga, and behind we have Slater looking for the chance to get in front of the BMW 2. And Lavoga right behind Rüngjanen. And Jared nearly 4 seconds away from the rest of the field. And then we have Tyler fighting against Martin. So meanwhile, it's not only one South African driver which is in front of Martin. Now there are two of them. And then we have Homoki. So the Pfeffers are around. Yeah, this is right, Dennis. So it's not. It's really a rarity to see Guido doing such a mistake. Maybe he was a little bit confused about how early the guys in front of him are braking. Oh, and there we have Paul fighting against Popov, and now in front of Popov. And then we have Chris Egert attacking the McLaren, and also Chris Egert is able to get in front of the McLaren, in front of Popov. So like I said, at least we see some fights here today. By the way, Chris already P21. Fighting against Ballo. Yeah, and Paul, one of the victims of Guido's crazy action, meanwhile fighting against Goodwin for the 6th place. In front of Rünkjanen. Oh. And I was a little bit afraid of seeing the same situation from Paul this time against Goodwin, but everything goes well so far. But a lot of pressure by Paul against Goodwin here at the moment. And look at this. Not much space here between these drivers. Oh, and now Chris Egert fighting against Paul, and Gabriel attacking Popov, and this goes well for the Lamborghini driver. So... Oh, and we have a drive-through penalty for Homoki in lap number 5, which isn't really good for him. Only not 10 minutes gone. And this isn't really a good sign for Homoki for the rest of the race. So 4 warnings during the first 10 minutes. Let's see what happens in the rest of the race. Yeah, but this is really early. Oh, and now he's losing a position against Thunder. And Hürjan's right behind Vermark. Oh, and was there contact between Paul and Goodwin? I'm not sure, but Paul now in front of Goodwin, and here the fight between Rünkjanen and Lavoga. And now Lavuga in front of Rüngjanen like last week. And Omoki is coming in for his penalty. And this brings Goodwin in 6th place, Lavuga P7, Rüngjanen P8, Popov 9. And right behind we have Lachko, and now Lachko attacking Popov. So it's always the first corner which costs Popov places. I think it's the 3rd or 4th lap where the McLaren got problems in the first corner and losing positions. And here we have the fight. Oh, and the next drive-through penalty for Bremen. And now Rüngjanen fighting against Goodwin. Meanwhile, Lavuga in front of Goodwin. P6 for Lavuga. And now the fight between the two Mustangs. Rüngjanen against Goodwin. And against... Oh, and I think Goodwin hits Lavuga a little bit. So Lavuga back behind Rüngjanen, but still in front of Goodwin. I'm not sure, but it looks a little bit like he pushes him out of the way. Which is interesting, cause normally the Mustang needs to brake a little bit earlier than the rest of the field. And look at this, it's really close here. And also Bremen, part of this mob. Oh, and now the McLaren with the attack in the first corner, but... Oh, and Castle with a big mistake here. Coming out of turn 2 into, let's say, the S corners. Oh, and by the way, Christ already P14. I think he will gain at least 2 positions during the next laps, cause Bremen needs to get in the pits for his penalty, and I think Castle with a little damage because of his problem a few seconds ago. And here we have the fight between Rüngjanen and Lavuga. Then we have Goodwin fighting against Lachko for the first silver grid place, and... Whoa, this was a little bit optimistic by Lachko, to be honest. This was a little bit too early to cutting the corner. Oh, and this is dangerous. And this brings Guido at least 1 position, and now 2, cause he is in front of Castle. I think now he's P12. And still no pit stop by Bremen, but pit stop by Castle. And like I said, P12 for Christ. Castle coming in for his mandatory stop really early, after 16 minutes, or 13.5 minutes, 15.5 minutes. And meanwhile... No! Ugh, fuck! Sorry for this, I don't want to start a replay. Yeah, and now we can bet who will be the third driver with the drive-through penalty. The second one is already done. And it's a really long pit lane. Not as long as in Spa, but long enough. And... Oh, Kendall was, by the way, the first one who did his mandatory stop. Now Castle number 2. Yeah, but Tyler stays with 4 seconds behind Jared. Meanwhile, 1.3 seconds in front of Hyans, and then we have the next big gap. But I think this gap is a result of the little problem. No, I think was Eric part of the... I think Eric was part of the Guido action. Let's say it like this. But then we have the next big gap, 12 seconds between Eric and Paul. And then a little less than 4 seconds between Paul and Chris Egert. And Chris Egert is fighting against Gabriel. Und Magarek einen wunderschönen guten Abend. Yeah, and like I said, also Eric was part of the incident. And now we have the drive-through penalty be cleared by Bremen, and let's see. I think he was P9 before his drive-through. Maybe he's able to stay in front of Ballot, yeah. So lost more than 10 positions because of the penalty. So, and Guido back in the top 10. Ooh, and the next close situation here after the long straight. Now he's... Oh. Okay, I think this looks a little bit crazy, but I think it's just because Jordan with a different way to drive through this corner. Meanwhile, Gabriel Lavuga 1.3 seconds behind Chris Egert Rundjanen, our fast Estonian guy, and here we have Guido overtaking Jordan, and now Popov tries the same at the end of the start, finish straight, and yeah, this was... I think Guido couldn't do anything here. So back on P10 for the Porsche driver. Yeah, and Ati fighting against Dollards, Klaassen and Dollards, the number 21 against the number 82, and yeah, I think this is exactly the problem which caused the incident. The Porsche is able to brake really late here for turn 11. And if everyone in front of you is braking earlier, it could be ending in disaster like we saw in lap 1. And now Jordan fighting against Popov. And here we have the fight between Dollards and Klaassen. 1 second behind Westerhoff. And Lachko, meanwhile, P18 after his drive-through penalty. But again, I don't know why he is now part of the silver grid. This is a little bit confusing. I didn't find anything in the at the Discord about this. So I'm a little bit confused, because last week he was a platinum driver. Now he's, speaking about the standings, the first silver driver. Hey, but why not? And here we have number 3, and it's Batschak, one of the BMW drivers. So now let's bet how many drive-thrus we will see this evening. Oh, and this was really late from Lachko, and now he's in danger to lose another position, because Jeffrey is right behind him. Yeah, but I understand this. I understand why Castle is surprised to be in the pro grid, but Lachko was the winner of the silver rating last season, so I thought it is totally normal for the winner of a grid to climb up the ladder. But maybe not. Oh, and here we have a slow BMW. Is it Ballot? Ah, I thought it is Ballot. Yeah, now 1 lap behind most of the field, but it looks like he has some really big problems. Oh, and it looks like he can't. Oh, yes, he can. What's this? He's staying in 6th gear. This is quite interesting. Oh, and Hyjans right behind Vermaak, so maybe a little problem by Vermaak, but like we see, they are right behind, or oh, and this is not good for Batschak. And this is something we see really often, and this is really a worst case scenario. You're getting in for your drive-through, and because of being too fast in the pit lane, you get a stop and go penalty right because of your drive-through penalty. So things you really don't like to have is something like this. Yeah, I don't know, but he's also standing in the standings, or he's in the standings now, first one of the silver grid. So maybe we ask Jared at the end, or after this race, and we can tell you something about this next week. By the way, next week we have a lot of time for telling you something, because then we don't have not only 60 minutes, but we have 90 minutes at the green hell. And now we see Ballo coming into the pits. But I think there is something totally wrong, because it's not normal to stay in the 6th gear during the whole course. Whoa! And there was a little contact. Oh, and we have the next stop and go penalty, this time for Ballo. But what is this? I think he also stays in the 6th gear during the pits. So something is totally wrong here. Just wait, I didn't realize which. I think it was 89. Oh, and did he already left the? Yeah, 98. So where is the number 98? Here we have him. Oh, and this was not so good. No, he was in 1st gear. Okay, but I think 67 is much too fast in the pits. But like I said, I think there are a lot of problems for Ballo, and Hyjans was in for his mandatory stop. But okay, it's close to the half time. And now he needs to fight against Mazur and Van Buren. And Tyler is in for his pit stop, which is totally normal, cause he was really close in front of Martin, and so I think he is reacting on the undercut. And Gabriel also in the pits. And now let's see the fight between Martin and Tyler. Is Tyler able to stay in front of Martin? I think he is. Oh, and now we have a disqualification, and like I thought it's Ballot for driving in the wrong direction. And here we have Tyler. Oh, and Tyler. Oh, and this is... Ooh. And Tyler stays right in front of Jared. Oh, and this... Oh my goodness. Oh, and so many cars goes left and right, and another one on the left side, and Big Jeff gaining at least 2 positions, I think. Maybe... Oh, and maybe there was a little contact between Jared and Tyler. And now... Oh my goodness. And look at this now. The fight along the long straight. Oh, this is really close. Oh, and like we see, Tyler a little bit earlier on the brakes in every corner, and now Jared in front of Tyler. But now we have the switchback, and again the other switchback, and now next switchback, at least a try. Meanwhile, we have more than 13, nearly 14 seconds between P1 and P2. But, oh, look at this little drift here by Tyler. And so he's losing contact to Hyans, and now we have the pit stop from Jared. Oh, and the next stop and go penalty for our Scottish driver, Archibald. And the next drive-through penalty, but not because of track limits, so Westerhoff got his drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But at least it's only a drive-through penalty and not like Archibald a stop-and-go penalty. So I think if they are coming in at the same time, Westerhoff will overtake Archibald in the pits. When Archibald is standing, Westerhoff can drive through. Cause, like you can see, it's a drive-through penalty. Woohoo. It's quite amazing. And now we have the pit stop by Lachko and Goodwin, and so we will have, yeah, again Tyler and Martin right, let's say right behind Jared, but let's see how much time we have between these two. Stander will fall back on 4th position, right behind these two drivers. So like we see, it's 9.9 seconds, nearly 10 seconds between the two teammates, and then Tyler on 3rd place, followed by Stander. And then we have Paul as the next driver who already did his mandatory stop. So we have Van Buren, McMazur and Chris, I think it is Chris Bremen, who already have to do their mandatory stop. Oh, and Westerhof is overtaking Archibald in the pits, like we say. And Latchko again with the penalty. I think he got a penalty also last week. So the second race he gets a stop and go penalty. So 2 times in a row, and this is not so good. And again, I ask myself, did someone kick away the... Oh, and what is this? Oh, and... Okay, and this is... Like I said earlier, the worst case scenario. You're coming in for a drive-through penalty and you get a stop-and-go penalty. And now we have to take a look. Oh, I think, yeah, the shield isn't here anymore. So this is maybe an explanation why we have so many stop-and-go penalties again. Last week, I don't have an explanation for this, but today we are missing the pit entrance sign. So it's not a shield is something else, I know, but in German it's Schild, and so it's a little bit hard for the German speakers to explain it. So also, Jeffrey, be careful at the pit stop entry. Yeah, but this is really good for the guys who did an early stop. And Tyler still less than a second behind Hyans. Oh, and another drive-through penalty for Bremen this time. I think he did it right in the opposite way. Got a stop-and-go penalty in the pits. And then a drive-through when he's... Yeah, and like... Oh, yeah. And the next one with a stop-and-go penalty. I'm pretty sure that Jeffrey is the next victim of the missing sign. And I think he already knew or know what happens now. And this is maybe the problem when you're coming in really late for your pit stop. So let's see. But I'm pretty sure that we have another stop and go penalty here for the number 187. Or not? Really? Was he able to slow down enough? No, he wasn't. Yeah. But again, I can understand why this happens, but I can't understand why this happens. Cause you have a white line on the street which tells you here is the point, and I hope it's not the first time for these guys driving into the pits at Kota. Or I'm pretty sure that it isn't the first time that they coming into the pits here at Kota. So it's every time it's a question for me, how could this happen? And we have the next drive-through penalty for Bremen, I think. Oh no, now it's a stop-and-go penalty? What? I'm a little bit confused. And here we have the fight between Lavugga and Rünkjanen, and in front of them we have the fight between the two Mustangs, number 13 and number 8, fighting against each other. And here we have the fight for P2 in the silver grid, but I think it's already done, yeah. Slater now behind Goodwin. And Popov still the leader of the silver grid. And here we have the fight between Rünkjanen and Lavugga. And Tyler against Martin. And here we have fight of 3 between Barabas, Castle and Mazur. So the two BMWs are hunting the Nissan GTR. And Tyler right behind Hyans, fighting for P2. So last week, Gabriel Lavugga was able to finish in front of Chris Egert. At the moment, Chris Egert ist in front of Lavugga. Und der Michi fragt, wie es geht. Also außer, dass ich mir hier beim Englischreden einen abbreche, geht's mir gut. Denn ich habe gerade tatsächlich Urlaub. Hup, hup. Und da passt das alles. Sagen wir mal so, mir geht's besser als den Fahrern, die sich hier alle der Reihe nach eine Strafe eingefangen haben. Oh, and Atti Klaassen, I think we got a disconnect by the third South African driver. Oh, and we have the next drive-through penalty because of track limits. Ja, das ist ein Ligarennen. Das ist die Apex Online Racing GT3 Championship. Zwischen die 9. Saison. Oh, and Gabriel now losing a little bit against Chris Egert. So we can concentrate ourselves for the fight or on the fight for P2. Also aktuell tatsächlich gibt es bei mir fast nur Ligarennen, abgesehen vom Samstag, wo wir mal wieder bei einem Endurance-Rennen zuschauen. Ob ich ein empfehlenswertes Setup durch Liga-Erfahrung habe, da ist ja die erste Frage, für welches Auto und für welche Strecke. Also, so allgemein eher nein, aber wie gesagt, wenn du das etwas genauer ausformulierst, dann kann man dir da bestimmt helfen. Aber wie gesagt, also wenn dir irgendjemand erzählen will, es gibt ein super Setup, was auf jeder Strecke funktioniert, dann... Ach so, Setup. Ja, das ist gemein, weil da fragst du jetzt jemanden, der sehr auf seinen Thrustmaster schwört. Aber dann wäre ja auch die Frage tatsächlich, welche Konsole, beziehungsweise fährst du auf PC? Weil bei PC ist natürlich genauso wie auch bei der Xbox die Auswahl wesentlich größer. Also wenn du anfangen willst, empfehle ich dir tatsächlich mit Thrustmaster anzufangen. Und dann reicht tatsächlich auch das T300, weil das kann man tatsächlich noch mit einigen Kleinigkeiten schön nachrüsten. So, Michi is asking for a gaming setup. Also wie gesagt, ich fahre das T300 mit Load Cell Pedalen. Das ist tatsächlich schon sehr schön, wenn du natürlich sagst, du musst nicht aufs Geld achten. Dann würde ich dir natürlich ein bisschen die Fanatec-Sachen empfehlen, weil da hast du eben tatsächlich einfach die, Gott, wie heißt es denn? Ich komme gerade nicht auf den Namen. Die, Herrgott, wie heißt es denn, die Lenkräder, die Direct Drive Lenkräder, genau. Wobei, das gibt es ja inzwischen sogar auch von Thrustmaster. Na, wie gesagt, also wenn Geld keine Rolle spielt, dann auf jeden Fall irgendein Direct Drive. Wobei ich da jetzt nicht unbedingt... Also ich bin kein Fanatec-Freund. Von daher kann ich dir nur empfehlen, was andere da sagen, weil... Oh, and now we saw the next attack by Tyler and now Tyler back on second place. Ich hoffe, das ist okay, dass ich hier nebenbei noch ein bisschen das Rennen kommentiere. Ja, ich glaube, das 598 ist das mit Direct Drive. Also auch wenn die ja ihr eigenes Direct Drive verwenden, was nicht genauso ist wie die anderen Direct Drives. Da habe ich tatsächlich sehr viel Gutes drüber gehört. Ich hatte mal kurz die Möglichkeit, das bei... Wo habe ich das getestet? Ich glaube, auf der Schleife habe ich das mal getestet. Ist okay. Wobei ich halt sagen muss, Direct Drive muss man natürlich mögen und hat natürlich auch den Nachteil, wenn dir da jemand ins Auto reinfährt, am Ende des Rennens bricht's dir halt auch gerne mal den Daumen. Aber wie gesagt, also das kann ich tatsächlich vom Hörensagen empfehlen. Und ich finde halt natürlich, da muss ich tatsächlich immer wieder sagen, dass ich gerade jetzt nach dem Verkauf von Fanatec hört man da noch viel weniger Gutes vom Schadensupport, was Fanatec angeht. Also von daher Und dann habe ich einfach den Vorteil, dass ich hier verschiedene Generationen Trustmaster Lenkräder rumliegen habe. Das heißt, wenn bei mir was kaputt geht, habe ich potenziell sowieso schon mal Ersatz. Und was ich tatsächlich lange nicht gehört habe, und das hört man bei Fanatec immer mal wieder, also bei Fanatec sollte man vor allen Dingen aufhören, direkt das neueste Update zu ziehen, denn das bringt gerne mal eine Verschlimmbesserung der Situation. Also wie gesagt, ich als Trustmaster, als alter Trustmaster-Hase würde dann eher für das 598 plädieren, zumal das Trustmaster Direct Drive auch wesentlich günstiger ist als alle anderen, die du da kriegen kannst. Also besonders frech finde ich ja das Direct Drive Lenkrad von Logitech, was halt, ich glaube, sogar teurer ist als die Fanatec Lenkräder und das mit wesentlich weniger Expertise beziehungsweise ja, wesentlich weniger, was sie da so anbieten. So, meanwhile we have more than 2.5 seconds between Lavuga and Rüngjanen, so I think this fight is over. But I'm pretty sure that this fight, what we are looking right now, or what we are watching right now, isn't over. Cause Martin, pretty sure, tries to get back in front of Tyler. When sometimes it looks like Tyler got some little problems with his tires. Castle, by the way, P16. And we have the next drive-through penalty, and there's another drive-through it's another penalty for Jeffrey. So Jeffrey just got one penalty for his pit entry, like we saw earlier. So, but at least now he's warned about the missing sign. So, I think he won't get another stop and go penalty. Let's hope so. For him. Ooh, and this was a little bit too late on the brakes by Tyler, but Martin couldn't get in front of him. And look at this, they are losing, I think, more than 8 seconds. Since the pit stop against Jared, so 17 seconds between Tyler and Jared. So, and Jeff cleared his drive-through without getting the next stop-and-go penalty, and Roland is fighting against Ricky or Richie, so Jordan against Goodwin for P2. So in both grids we have the fight for second place. Here we have the two Mustangs against each other, and also in the silver grid we have the fight between the two Mustangs, Goodwin against Jordan, or Jordan against Goodwin. So really nice from the Mustang drivers that they show us some fights. Oh. Meanwhile, 9/10 of a second between Martin and Tyler. Oh, and now we have the attack from Jordan. Oh, and why he's able to get in front of Jordan, in front of Goodwin so easy, quite interesting. Maybe it was a bad exit from Goodwin after turn 11, or maybe some different setups here. So, but now Goodwin, I think, close to a second, and no, it's more than a second, it's nearly 1.5 seconds in front of Goodwin, so... Oh, and also Jans losing time against Tyler. And I think we need to take a look at the points. So we have P6 with 72 points and P7 65, it's 7 points less. Okay, but Gabriel stays in front of Chris Egert, cause he got 15 points more for P3 than for P4. And Guido with P8. Oh. Yeah, but Guido stays in front of both of them. I'm pretty sure. And till now, a perfect season for Jared after 2 races. Oh, and Goodwin coming in for another pit stop 1 minute before the end of the race. And this isn't really good for Goodwin, so Kendall will get P3. I think Goodwin with a little bit... Oh, I think he needs a little bit more gas. And now we have the final lap for our leader, which means Goodwin have to do one more lap. Oh, and this is really bad for Ricky, because Ricky was P2 after the first race. And yeah, he could get P1 after this race, but now he's losing a lot of positions. I think he will stay in front of Latchko at the end of the race. But now we have only P7 for Goodwin. Yeah, but really interesting. So we have Latchko P1 in the silver rating, now only P9. Ricky second place, now P7. Mick Mazur P3. Oh, and he's P4, so maybe the Polish driver is able to climb up in the standings. Then Kendall, one place behind Mick, but today one place in front of Mick. So third place for Kendall. So I think they are equal. So Mick last week P3, now P4, and Kendall last week P4, now P3. Crazy. And then a lot of driver who had some problems today. Oh, and sorry, Jared. Even the finish I missed today. So quite an interesting and fantastic race for Jared. Then we have Mick Mazur in the pit, finished his race on 4th place, P12. Then Barabbas, Dollards, Castle and Goodwin. And here we have Tyler, who is able to get P2 after an interesting race. Jurjans finished P3, but only 1 and a little tenth in front of Stunder. And then we have Paul P5. Chris Egert is able to stay in front of Gabriel. Meanwhile, it's more than 5 seconds in front of Gabriel. So P6 for Chris Egert. P7 for the Austrian guy, for Gabriel. And then we have Guido after his crash in the first lap, able to get P8. And then we have the winner of the Silver Grid today. It's... I don't know his first name. It's only A. Popov, I don't know. And then the next Hungarian... Oh no, the first Hungarian driver, cause Popov, I think it's a Bulgarian driver. And then the first Hungarian driver, Roland Jordan. Second place for the Mustang driver. And then we have Kendall, the British driver, P3 in the Silver Grid. And like I said, Mac Mazur, P4 in front of Zolt Barabbas, then Dollards, Castle P14, Goodwin P15, then Archibald, Latchko only P17 in front of Van Buren. No, in front of Bremen? Why? Okay, I'm just a little bit confused. So Bremen on just wait, P19, then Jeffrey, Big Jeff Van Buren, Westerhof P21, then Batschak, and then we have Atti Klaasten, Homoki, Chobor and Balot, who didn't finish their race. Yeah, quite interesting race, and sorry for oh, and now I know why Bodhi, with really big problems on the back of his car, so overheated brakes, and with 27.9 and 28.1 psi on the at the back of the car. Oh, and I don't know who is JJ Cars, but he will move to silver. I don't know who is Cars. Let's see if we can figure out who is Cars. Maybe it's It's Castle. I'm pretty sure that it is Castle. Just wait. Up, 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 up. Just wait, we will figure it out. Okay, and I switched off my sound. So just wait. Castle? Yeah. So Cars, of course, not part of the Platinum grid, but now he's in the Silver grid. So P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, P7 in the Silver grid. Yeah, but this isn't the explanation what happens to Latchko. I don't know. And Gabriel is asking what was at the start, and Martin just write Porsche brakes. Yeah, but this is really a problem, cause if you are driving the Porsche, you are just wait. What happens here? This is totally stupid. This new. What is this? Stupid.
Green light. Give it all you can.
Okay, it's totally stupid, this new Discord shit. So earlier I have my streaming shit really easy, but now I have to search it. What a shit. Ah, here we have streamer mode. Quite stupid. So, and normally I wait for a little interview guest, but I think because of the first three drivers we don't have any guests here. So we are talking about the next days, cause we will have some races in the next days. So tomorrow we have I think the penultimate race. No, it's not the penultimate race. Just wait. I take a look. We will have the next race at least from the fundraiser guys. Where is it? Ah, here we have the calendar. So tomorrow we will have the first endurance race from the fundraisers. We have the 2 hours race at Spa. And on Friday we will have the next season race by the noob guys. And this is at the wonderful course in Imola. And then we have the 9 hours of Kyalami on Saturday. And of course we will see us together in English next week. and then we have the 1.5 hours of the Nordschleife. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks everyone who was driving here for this interesting race, and we are looking forward for the next season races here. Und damit einen wunderschönen Abend. Have a wonderful evening. Stay kind to each other. Bleibt lieb zueinander oder seid lieb zueinander. Bleibt gesund und munter. Und ja, von daher sehen wir uns, wenn ihr Lust und Laune habt, morgen dann wieder in ganz altgewohnten Deutsch. Wie gesagt, bei den Funracern, da geht's morgen, wie gesagt, 2 Stunden über die Ardennen-Achterbahn in Spa. Und wie gesagt, am Freitag geht's dann weiter auf dem Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari in Imola. Und am Samstag, wie gesagt, dann von den Schwitzern 9 Stunden Kialami. Und ich glaube, da fangen wir 17 Uhr an oder irgend sowas. Also von daher haltet die Ohren und die Augen offen. Und ansonsten, ja, gehabt euch wohl und macht es erstmal gut. Ciao, ciao, euer Vincent.